5, 16, 19, 21, 33, and 10. Check results. You remember?
I don't want the world to see me. 200 and blah, 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 blah. Insert number here. Recently, I've been sitting here for a long time, a very long time, talking away. That's what podcasts usually are. And I've got a long list of things here, but no pens. I've never been able to cross out the things I've already mentioned, which makes it a little bit tricky. But we're getting there. We're getting there. You know something that I saw on Twitter that, well, first of all, I don't agree with this whole "the movies are back" type thing. I don't think they ever left. So how could they come back? Like, I feel like a lot of people love to talk about this thing dying, that thing dying. The Oscars are dead. They need to change the Oscars. They need to, like. I heard someone talk about this on a podcast, and I kind of agree with it. And it was like, the Oscars, look at the viewing numbers, they're going down. They need to change the show. They need to the show. They need to, like, update the awards. They need to do this and that. They need to, like, add more categories that mean, like, Marvel movies and stuff can get nominated. Like, when Infinity War was, like, the most watched thing in the world that time, and Endgame, and like, this stuff, and No Way Home, and then there's no categories for it and stuff like that. And basing on the fact that it gets less viewership and stuff like that. And I just think, I heard something on a podcast and some guy said it, and it's just like, but why? Why do they need to change it? Why do they need to, like, make more space for Marvel movies and stuff? Because I used to be the same. Like, I never seen any of these films, and all my favorite films, and they're not being spoken about, so I don't want to watch this thing. But then I just think about, so that, like, not everything has to be mainstream. The Oscars can be this more niche thing which talks about films that don't get much of a spotlight compared to these huge movies that are already raking in the crazy money, so they're already reaping that side of the rewards. They're already getting crazy, like, word of mouth and good sort of reviews just from the general public. And, like, a lot of Marvel movies, whether you like them or don't like them, have pretty good scores on, like, things like Rotten Tomatoes and stuff. It's like, what? And now we need to also make space for them in the Oscars. Like, the Oscars, same way how the films being nominated, no, they're not going to make crazy money, but they're just trying to make them because it's something they want to say. The Oscars doesn't have to be this thing that makes crazy numbers. It doesn't have to be why it's made. It can just be this little small thing where each year they nominate these people from films that they genuinely thought were the best films that year, and films that don't have to be the biggest blockbuster things. And it's like, I could as much as I like Infinity War, I couldn't sit here and genuinely tell you it's like one of the best made films. Like, they could add more categories, like best stunts, like, and other stuff like that, to accommodate a wider category of films, because they already have, like, CG, and, like, that's usually what Marvel movies will get, or things like that. But they just don't have an interest. That because Oscars could very easily do things like make Marvel movies get nominated. I think what would be better is, because I think the films they've been, like, you can't, a lot of the time you look at, like, who are the people even giving these awards and stuff. But I think in recent years, a lot of, like, more interesting films that the general public would like have won. Coda's very accessible. Everything Everywhere is like a whole interdimensional, what's it called? Multiversal film. So there's been a lot of films like that. I think what could help is if it's hard because the show is already so long, it's hard to say more categories. But and it's hard because it's like, what ones would you add? Like, if you watch, like, TV awards, they have stuff like best drama performance, but also, like, best comedy performance and stuff. I feel like the Emmys have so many different nominations, but then is it less special? Like, could you have awards like best action, best comedy, best thing, and that? And they don't look to do that. They kind of just have best picture, best actor, best actress, and it's that simple. Why am I talking about this? Fucking hell, why am I talking about this? I have no idea why I'm talking about this. It's not on anything. Oh my god. This is just basically the longest tangent in the world. Um, yeah, because people saying the movies are gone up at the back or whatever. And they say this, I've seen this said multiple times. When the first Dune film came out, movies are finally back. When Top Gun came out, the movies are officially back. You know, when it's just like, how many times can they come back? What, you mean a good film's out, which you like, so the movies are back now? Like, sure. Um, like, films have been making pretty good money, consistently at the cinemas, non-stop. Whether they've been good or bad films they've been making, there's been big movies. Pretty, like, apart from Code, when you literally couldn't go. I don't think. Anyway, um, yeah, but they've been saying that a lot, and you know, when they're seeing all these big films like Oppenheimer on the fucking IMAX or whatever, on the fucking big screen with the film roll that's 17 miles long, is how it's meant to be viewed. It's how the director intended it, right? Don't watch it on a laptop or whatever. All those people's hearts are truly broken at this point, because for them, were truly back. They were truly back, and their lives were truly happy again, and color was restored. If you haven't heard this yet, cup your ears. But Dune 2 has been pushed back to March of 2024. And wait for it. The Marvels will be taking its IMAX slots. Yep. And look, I've never seen anything in IMAX. I will happily watch a movie on a plane. I don't really care. That being said, I can see how this is an L for the world, and I can see how this is a really sad day for all the film students around the world right now. You know, I can see it. I can see it's a sad day for people who have home cinemas and surround sound in their front rooms. Who, you know, it's a sad day for you guys. You know, and I love films. I'm not trying to like say I don't. I'm not trying to like dunk on people who really love films, because I love films. I talk about them all the time. I fucking love films. I got a whole channel where I just talk about fucking films. But you know, it is crazy. Like when I saw the movie poster, the Marvels. Like, I'm sorry, the Marvels, aside from like Paw Patrol, it is like that similar level of in terms of films that don't need to be on IMAX screens. You know, the Marvels, just yeah. So, and you know, this is the whole strike thing, isn't it? And it's like people are striking, and the studios would rather just constantly push films back. And here's the thing: they're not necessarily losing money. They've spent a lot on marketing. But like, the longer you blue balls people, the more hype it's going to build. We're going to talk about that in a little bit with this whole Drake for the Dogs album, which, you know, people really want and clamoring for, and Drake never officially said. I keep saying it's going to be out tonight, it's going to be out tonight, and it's not out tonight, and he never said it would be out. Things like that. But when it eventually does drop, it's going to be more hype. If it dropped a week ago, you know, there's going to be more hype for it if it drops 3 weeks from now, because it's a finally type thing, you know. So I don't know if the studio's necessarily worried about losing money if they release Dune now or in March. Although March isn't usually a good time for watching films, a good time of year or whatever. You know, I just think they're probably not that fast. But what I will say, did I just move this? What I will say is, from a consumer point of view, I just wish it wasn't pushed back, because I want to watch it as soon as possible. I wish they kind of just paid the people that want to be paid, from a selfish point of view, because I just want to watch the shit. Also, it's affecting my work, which, you know, my job, which is also annoying. You know, so, and I guess, is it selfish? Is that selfish as well? I don't know. And also, you know, just if the money's there to be paid, pay them, you know, type thing. I think some people, they take a very like basic look at it and say, you act for a living. It's very simple compared to people who save lives and stuff like that. But come on, guys, we made that argument when we was in primary school. We know now that it's just about the simpleness of it is, it's just about what you work in, and if the job you work in brings in a lot of money, you'll make more money. And if it's a specific talent that not everyone can do, then you'll make more money. You know, it's whether it's sports like football, and it's not like all sports. Like there's very tricky sports out there, but they just haven't got the same views. You know, and they're not going to bring in that cash. But if you're working in a job that has that much cash, then why should you not make that much? And there's crazy amounts flying around. And if you're making like less than 3% of that, and people doing less, who will have less of the talent, they're kind of just hiring the people, putting them in place, then yeah, sure, get paid more. I don't care. But what I do care about is that, you know, I thought it'd be done by now. I thought people would have caved in by now. But no, this was going to be a really good year for films as well. You know, a really great year for cinema. I'm sounding like those people. I was looking at the lineup of stuff coming out, and it's just like, wow, this is something to smack your mum over. But a lot of that stuff's been pushed back now. But all that does mean though is 2024 will be an even better year. Everything that was gonna come out that year, and everything that was gonna. That's why, like, I think that was a year, like, the year after COVID, maybe a year after that, where it was a really good year because all the stuff that was meant to come out that year came out, and then all the stuff from the COVID year prior also came out, and it was pretty tasty. So, you know, it's just prolonging the fun. Think of it that way. Sorry, I just burped. And I'm petting my Doge because, you know, I saw a meme like, you let your dog on the sofa. People always say that, and it really puts my back up, or like it just really. I feel like that's just a lack of self-awareness. Like, I don't want my dog's tongue anywhere near my face. I don't kiss my pets. But you meet a lot of people who do, right? And if I met them and the dog was looking up at their face and I didn't really know them that well, the first thing I said wouldn't be, ew, you let your dog lick you on the face. Even if I was thinking that, because it's just general social interaction, and like, I don't know this person well enough, and I'm just creating an awkward atmosphere, right? If I'm telling you a story and a very small part of the story was like, oh, and the dog was that, and then you cut me off to say, wait, you let your dog on the furniture? It's just like, okay, you've just added a weird energy, you know, like, read the room, know the time, place, I don't even know you that well, right? Secondly, I don't let the dog on the furniture. The dog doesn't go on the sofa and stuff. Although occasionally, you know, like, the dog can't go on the sofas, can't go on, yeah. No, if I let the dog on the sofa, I would be kicked. You know, not allowed. And I'm sorry, but you know, it is your ears and stuff like that. But you know, I'm a good you know, I don't see species, and I do let the dog on the bed because you know, I'm weak, really. And that dog just looks at you, and I can't just kick it to the floor. Like I've seen in Garfield where he just keeps kicking Odie to the ground. I can't do that, you know. And I saw a meme like, you let your dog on the sofa, in quotes, and then it was like, my dog, and then a picture of the dog, and it's like, yeah, my dog basically lives here. It's got like, you know, a pack of 24. It's got like, he's got his Flim Hot Cheetos. You know, he's set up. He's camped out. Like, he's put his camp out, and he's here to stay. So yeah, on the bed up here is fine, especially because I don't spend even much time here, and if I'm like between here and the boat, and it's just like whatever. And it's an easy way to become your pet's favorite, because everyone else is just kicking that pet off, and you're the one guy with the open arms. It's like, easy, I just become the favorite, and everyone wants to be the favorite. But yeah, anyway, that's all. That's all we got now. We're at almost 1. Okay, I still got time. I'm just checking. Formula 1 football starts like 2, so you know, I've got to get my priorities straight. But yeah, live long and prosper.
With the kids, and I've got 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'll ever meet. Like,